this one keeps stopping. They both stopped, but this one keeps stopping. So we're going to open it up and see what the problem is. Move you guys a little bit so you can see better. What did I do with the knife? Always use the back side of a knife so you don't cut your barrel. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Pour some of the water off, not much. Okay. So this one coming out pretty good. I actually need to trim that down better. So we'll put this over here, the saw. And this one, yeah, this one, the saw comes right here. And if I turn that over, we lose all this. We'll figure something out. Redo the way these are in here. It did not turn out the best. So we'll take these and put these in there. Put these little ones in there. Now I always save the chips from the cutting, because you can always use them in stage one. Always using things, doing experiments, trying to make things work better, be more cost efficient, kind of. Because if you have the chips from the rock saw, then the chips will make grit. And make their own grit. And show you guys a trick here. Once I get this done. We've done this before in a pinch. You can take the water from the saw, because it's just water, and it's got rock chips in it. And you can use that as water for your stage. Like that. And then we're going to put a scoop of borax in there. 1 scoop. And then a scoop of grit. Just do 1 scoop because it's got some grit in there. Usually I do 3 scoops, but where it's got where it's got grit in there, right there. And take a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, get it wet. And sometimes what I do is take just a drop. This stuff will oh, that might be too much. Yeah, because when you use the Cascade brand, similar to Jet Dry, prevents spots, helps shine, dries. Sometimes it makes it, boy, sometimes it makes the water really frothy. And turn this around. Dry my hands off. That good and clean. Now dry it. This on. And this. This over here out of our way. Goodness. Oops. There. That started. Now we'll look at this one. Since this is stopping too, we'll see why. Sometimes you have to put the wing nut on here, pry it off. So let's grab something out of here, pry it off, see how it's doing. Not bad. Needs to go a little longer, so what we will do, we will take and dump this out. Just had water in it. I always wipe this off, but somehow it always gets dirty. No big deal. Easy to wipe off. These back in here, but we want to dry a couple of them off and see where they're at in their polish. That's got a little longer, definitely. See, that just has a bit of a luster to it. We want that to be a real shine. How did this one go? This is going to be really pretty. With the orange and the black. You see that good? I don't wipe every one of them off, just periodically wipe one. That one. Really shining. I would say that is done. Put that over here in the done pile. That one is duller than anything. That's just barely starting to shine. You see how that's just starting to shine up at the top and around over here. It'll go in there for another time. This is really pretty. Needs a little bit more. That side is done. We can put this in the done pile. And this is how we do this. Sometimes we have to take the Dremel and polish them. See that? This side. This one needs to go in a little more. You can see shining out around the edges here. Can y'all see that? Shinier around the edges than in the center. So we'll let that go for another round. Grab some of these little ones, put in there. Filler. Do a bit of an experiment with this one. We're going to put double the polish powder and double the borax and a little bit less water. See, I'm grabbing these little rocks, just putting them in there as filler. Bigger rocks in. It's amazing. You find these rocks and they're kind of like this, and then you put them in and they turn out like that. And that one is done. We need a little bit more. Sometimes you can wipe them off and they're done. Sometimes it's just a bare luster, which means you need to go and another one. Bigger rocks, you wipe them off and see where they're at. That one's pretty close. Ooh, that's pretty. I'll wipe that one off. That's pretty. That side is done. That side is done. And that one is done. See, I took, this was a ball, agate ball, and I cut it in 8 pieces like this as an experiment, and it came out pretty good. So that's one of them. The others are not done. This is pretty. This one is done. See how pretty that is when it shines? That's another done one. I've seen other YouTubers just take a towel and just dump them out on a towel and let them dry. I like to wipe them off as I sort them That way you can pick out the ones that are done and the ones that need just another round. Like this one needs another round. Almost done. Another reason I do it this way is because I use ceramic media and I don't want to put the ceramic media in the bottom. I always put the ceramic media over the top of the rocks. That's just something that I do. This side is done, but this side is not. Can you see how that's just a luster, where the other side is shiny? So we will put that back in for another round. All right, now we put the ceramic media in on top of it. And what I do is I cover the top of the rocks. You shouldn't have more than 3/4 of the barrel full. The more ceramic media I use, I find the better polish I get. All right, I gotta go get some water, and we will pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with some water. Okay, here we go. Dig me a hole like this so I can see where the water level is. Right there. So normally I would put the water up to here, but because I'm putting in extra borax and I put in some Cascade, I want a little less water because that will really froth up. We're putting 2 scoops of borax. Teaspoon, no, we're doing 3 scoops. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, it'll start doing what I call the runaway train, where it just goes bzzz. We're gonna try and start this one again. Almost put the wrong thing in there. I want polish. Oops, sorry. Sorry, guys. So I normally do, this is a 2 tablespoon scoop. I normally do 2 tablespoons. But today we're doing an experiment. So I'm going to do, no, 2, I do 2, usually do 2 scoops. But today, because we're doing an experiment, I'm doing a 3rd scoop. Crap. Bad word, bad word. And I got more polish in the cabinet. Tilt it. Let's see where the water level is going to be. That's just something that I do. You don't have to do it. That's just my little quirk that I do. The other day, See, this knob is orange, so it's easy to see. I knocked this down in here, and it was in the bottom below all the rocks. I had to dump it out. Don't do that, right? Okay, there. Now, that on there. That. 2. Let her go. All right, that's what I got for y'all today. You made it this far, might as well like and subscribe. Bye.